Hello everybody, welcome back and welcome to Slay the Princess. Let's see, whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions, there are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. We are with Slay the Princess. Hello everybody, hello. And welcome back. I've been wanting to play this for quite a while, but then when I learned that there was this sort of the Pristine cut, like a director's cut, I believe, I wanted to hold off and wait for that. Let me know as we get in. Let me know how volume is. It's not when I started to check the volume, to check how the voice acting would work. So please let me know. I know it's a sort of visual novel type game, where I think sort of commentary on the writing and everything. First time? yes it is. And I know my friend played one ending and then immediately came and went, I think you'd like this. But yes, hello everyone, hello, sorry I didn't get a chance. I hope you're having a lovely day too. Oh! Hey, off to... I'm scared in the title screen. Almost vibrating. But glad. Hope you're having a lovely day too. Evie, maybe this should have been... You have our post-Halloween fun. What is the title? I do love the art style. It's not what... I wonder, was it all done traditionally as well? But like gorgeous use. Gorgeous line work, gorgeous expressions. Oh. Okay. I think that's, so yes, I know very little outside of sort of... I guess just based on the idea what I lightly read, it does seem to sort of have commentary on like visual novel type choices. All drawn in paper and digitally shaded. Oh yeah. It's gorgeous. And that's about what I know. I don't know how... Yeah, I'm just talking out loud here, so don't spoil me. Obviously, no spoilers. I think this is one that needs to be played blind. So just talking out loud here a little bit. But yes, I am not sure how to play, for instance. I don't know if I'm gonna go in and do like, have to save at every decision for instance. Versus, and I don't know how this sort of director's cut works, if it's all just more endings or if there's like a extra story type thing, but we're going to find out. Okay, starting, so new game. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
And just, oh, parallax. Just gonna check the... and is there for maybe... CTC, there are maybe for... Maybe we'll turn flickering off just for the audience. Just checking. Okay, we have, yeah, this is Renpai. You automatic. Okay. Just finding this out. Is that log, dialogue history? That's probably fast forward and auto. Okay.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, we have choices. Explore the end of the world. Are these gonna be only one choice, or looks like we could possibly choose more than one of them, so let's try that and hope we can do the other. The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. you have to put an end to her.
Yes, if I need to, yeah, I'm conscious. I want the games to be accessible. If I need to turn off as we go, and I can see if you want me to turn off any of the other settings, I'm perfectly happy to do that. And explore means it's not hard progress. Thank you. That's what I like to know. But how can a princess locked away in a basement in the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up? Show me the evidence.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
What journey? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Okay.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Already really good.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
You have a name? And can't someone else do this? Why is this my role?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules.
Who does?
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
And forget about this, I'm not doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Maybe I am. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Perhaps content?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Guess it's the ending. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
An achievement. I saw that there's like 131, I think I saw achievements. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and maybe if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. Not committing to anything until I've had a chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Are there more of us? Is it just you and me? And her?
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
And chat?
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
I'm voice of the hero.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Interesting. See to the cabin. Yeah, I wonder. Let's see how we're. Maybe it's. I'm wondering if I should just like sort of play it straight and actually go for the slaying. right from the beginning. Hello.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
See it?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
May I click it? Oh. Or take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Vorpal sword. Enter the... Oh, the icon changed. I guess the cursor. Enter the basement. This is the pristine
The door
cut.
to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Hello.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Okay.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Apparently. I like these options. They're so casual, especially compared to sort of how the hero's talking, for instance. Nah.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I'm gonna... Not gonna... fall for anything yet. Background is feathers. Keep a hold on it.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
And this. Getting ready. Let's explore first. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
So don't expect to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Oh, okay. Let's just go for it. Slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade trembling
wow.
in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
I was wondering why our cursor looked a bit monstrous. Is us? The feathers ours?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
don't think we're very good at this.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Fair enough.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity.
I don't know what this effect is called where they everything. Well, one I really like the parallax. When you make the like line art sort of wiggle wobble. Oh, it's really good for expressions like this.
You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm afraid it is.
Oh.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Hero. Oh, chapter 2, the tower.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Here we go again.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Is it?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Voice of the broken.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now?
Well,
It's pointless.
I guess the question obviously is gonna be, does she remember? If we do the exact same thing, we know how she's gonna make the first move, for instance.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Good question.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
The world ended?
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk about this princess. I already have... I mean, already I'm starting to think about what does it mean to end the world. Don't we have that ability if we can just sort of end the game, for instance? What happened if we... Let's talk more, but I'm also curious about the turnaround and leave.
Just be quick about it.
Yeah, she killed me last time around, but how can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
All she did last time was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Like, I wanna take it straightforwardly as well within the story, but it's so hard. When it's presented like this, not to already jump to sort of the meta questions.
We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Just a smidge.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
I see. Who locked her in that basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is it falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Fair enough. I don't want spoilers anyway.
The less you know about her, the better.
We'll find it out for ourselves. That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
To the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Yes?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
Proceed into the cabin.
If that's what you want. I guess I don't have a say here.
I didn't even have another choice. Sorry, Broken.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
It's different. I mean, I was almost expecting to see the tower when we were outside.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Can we go look in it?
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway, and I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
I want to see. Let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
It's fair. Hopefully it's not the kind of game that, like, turns your webcam on. Yeah, the whole cabin is different from last time.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
I don't have a webcam. This computer, it would be taped off if I. It would be taped off if I did. But thank you.
Huh. This is actually kind of nice.
Descending.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Booming.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Witness.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Can you down the stairs?
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
It does sound like we are tiny.
The princess
Hello.
towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Tighten your
Let's
grip.
not
Oops, sorry.
drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? You really
Checking in your grip. As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clutters uselessly to the floor. We didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us?
I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed.
Yeah, the plan to use previous knowledge is not exactly working.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
I have to slay the princess.
Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Remain silent.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen? You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
The needle?
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here.
Narrator.
I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
You're against one.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
This is like when chat tries to get me to do something. Hey, we have grayed out options here. Why? What are you going to try and make me do with it? I'm going to kill you. You're not kidding about that divine hand. Who's doing this? Is it her? Is it you? No. Pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
I hate you. I hate you so much, all of you. Stop making me do things. I'm going to kneel here forever. Yet, we stand.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
You're so powerful. Why are you chained up?
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay yourself. Resist. Slay the princess. Give it a shot again. Slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't...
As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words you don't have to listen to.
Words.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you.
I'm on it.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
God was lowercase, but princess is always uppercase. There, slay the princess.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand.
My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
And the cursor's red as well.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
Thank you.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Art is so good.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Librarian?
Well,
Archivist?
that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Wonder what it takes to get these. Sure. Why not? I'm yours.
That's right. I can feel your heart opening to me.
Maybe it'll give us the strength for the next time.
And there's what you've been chasing. The motivation that dragged you across the floor, bleeding and choking. I am destined to destroy the world.
The feathers in the background again.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart, as if it's a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten.
Forget it. So you've been... Feel your heart opening to me. And that's what you've been chasing, the motivation that dragged you across the floor, bleeding and choking.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is known is overdue for alterations. It's time for us to seize my destiny.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me.
Yeah?
Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
You talking about the narrator or you, the player?
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Also, the text is advancing automatically there.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to
Oh,
your
wow.
feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
And what if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart.
It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever. Please don't do this.
Have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. It is good. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
Break her chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
I got an achievement for that. Your obedient servant. But you do not take her hand. Something has taken her away. It's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
I always feel anxious. The narrator is gone.
It is. Does that mean the world ended? Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. I don't want to look at us.
I don't have any other options. Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
Mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. There's an achievement for that. The body, it's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
This feels so big for like... I mean, I know that there's not... As we said, there's not really endings, but for the second route... What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Oh no, so sorry. Hi Lex, hi everybody that's joining. Hi Lexi, I hope you've been well. Solitary lights, what do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming heart.
This one is dominance.
Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Was that who we just met? It's the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
You know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
You know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Okay. I know. See what you're laying out here, but aren't you scared I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Okay. Oh, what will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Yeah, if we're going tarot here, we're just doing major arcana, or what deck are we going for? And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
I meant to trust you? You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Hey, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Overwhelming heart, bring the tower to her. Chapter 1, the hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods.
The real slay
And
the
at the end of
princess
that
starts
path
here.
is a
Know it when
cabin.
you see it.
And in the basement of you're here to...
Okay, here we go. Note, you can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard or R1 on your controller. I'm out of here.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
What do we have? You're persistent. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Are we just gonna go in a loop?
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
How do you know? I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Oh yeah, you're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
What if I just sit here and don't go?
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Also, afraid dog! No. No. my god, thank you, I almost missed that. Thank you, thank you. She's just scratching at the couch behind me, so wasn't sure if it was picking up or not, but I didn't want her scratching just in case. Thank you, thank you. Yes, you had a question earlier. Any thoughts on the princess being a creature of perception? It's hard to, it's so early, it's hard to really gauge yet. Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to take the story as it comes, but it's so hard not to just spiral off into like all the meta implications. I mean, whether if this is, for instance, are we doing sort of commentary on stories or commentary on visual novels, for instance? Being that this is the sort of language that we're using. I don't have quite enough to go on here yet.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Universe is capitalized. Oh yeah, well I guess I'll start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm gonna just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
Yes?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Oh, they're doing the like reverse music thing. Oh, I don't know what it is about it, but it's always creepy, isn't it? I've never like heard this effect used for good.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
We just no-clipped into the backwoods. I didn't mean to.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Have to do the stranger. Okay, not just tarot.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Are we doing straight up Camus?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The wall or chains? Those walls weren't here last time.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
Oh, Nagitona, thank you! Thank you. No, I'm sorry that... I really wish there was a magical time zone that just worked for everybody. But thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the VOD when the time comes.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Hello, contrarian.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and
And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Stay in the woods forever. Well, we've gone this far down this path, might as well commit.
Oh, that's clever. A little boring, though.
I already said this is what I'd do. I'm just gonna sit down. Never progress.
It's extremely boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing? No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something.
Do we?
Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing. Forever.
Like this one.
Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Who's getting fuzzy? What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty spaces. Ooh. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Oh. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. The world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation. Now, return to your destined path or face the consequences.
You're on a path in the woods.
Let's... Okay. This seems like
Make
it's,
your way up the short path to the cabin.
There's
You'll
also
find
the
the
skip.
prince-
Some sort of mutual agreement. Like, whatever the conclusion is, it does require both of us. I'm curious. I wanted to see more of that other with the walls, the other cabin with the walls. I do want to go back to that before we broke things. And I like the description of everything being textured, because you'd assume, as we're breaking the game, you'd assume things would not be textured, or would have some sort of blank texture. Let's head to the cabin. Let's meet the princess again. No going back to that.
The
Certain
interior
options
of the
cease to
cabin
be.
is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty.
Let's just enter the basement. Don't worry about it. Oh!
The door to the
Consequences.
basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Hello.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Unarmed. go. Let's try and save her this time.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Hello.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
And yeah, not just the end of the world here. It's the end, the ending. I guess there wouldn't be a narrator if there wouldn't be a story. So the narrator does have reason to want to continue. But let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Hello. What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Mario's named Mario. Luigi's Luigi Mario. So, is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back
Pristine.
upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Is there actually a... Oh yeah, retrieve the blade. I wanna keep asking. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Wait.
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. But I wanted to see you for myself. I'm still not sure what to believe.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
How long?
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
We are.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about.
It's also my life.
Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Are they?
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
You retrieve. Okay, let's see. If I stayed a while and just kept you company, I'm gonna keep you locked up down here, keep her locked away, retrieve the blade. Oh, I don't... Where do we want to go with this? Like, what's gonna tell us the most? We'll just have... Where do these lead to? We have already tried killing her, and we don't have the memories from before. Let's see what happens if we do release her. But which way we want to do? I can't believe they've been keeping you down here like this. I'm getting you out of here.
You're only making this more difficult.
I believe we'll have plenty more time to talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing.
Thanks, hero.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Yeah, that's the other question. How do we...
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it could be the narrator trying to mislead us. I'm gonna go check upstairs. Maybe the key is still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
They don't want me to leave without making a decision.
Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
I mean, fair enough, that's how it would work. Hey, let me out of here!
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Turn to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Yeah, if we're really trapped, it's gonna... If we end up deciding to slay the princess, the options are less quick, I would say.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Seems so.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
I guess that there's a version of this where she could just be like eating everybody who's come down to try and save her.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
I meant eating the others.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Can't escape it.
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
I mean, would you prefer she ate you? Depends how gory the CG is.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess. No option even. I've been oh, is it actually a nail? I've been trying to figure out. I see the like slidey bar. I actually could not tell what it was, but it's like the severed finger. Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
I'm glad it's narrated so I can look away.
No,
This is...
she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Yeah? Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Okay, what have you got, narrator?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Weren't this hopeful earlier?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Can you give me a hand, hero?
Watch me.
Oh, what are you doing?
Warn her. Always check.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
We both do we?
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
It's not just the giant eyes, it's the giant pupils. That are a great choice. They're almost like fish-like, for lack of a better word. They just sort of add to that unsettling look.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Are you?
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
You are having a good time narrating this.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
We need the CG where we just like reach for her and like wipe a tear from her eye to complete this chapter.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right?
Right?
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I mean, that didn't feel like ungenuine. I mean, the reaching toward you at the end, like she had giant eyes. She wouldn't have. I don't see why she would have done that if it wasn't coming from a genuine place, I should say.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, we have the deja vu.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Voice of the smitten.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
You already won the best. Thanks, Mittens.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Okay, we do have... Go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Yes?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
This is just drama.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
If the lady most fair and just.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
You're extremely compromised. Proceed into the cabin.
interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Not a symbol this time.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's see what the mirror... Yeah. Is there anything different about the mirror on the wall?
That's because there isn't a mirror.
Yeah.
There's death. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
That's a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her. We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important.
I mean, preening. Given what we know about ourselves, preening does have extra weight.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Yeah, and I'm curious how much the narrator is genuine here at this point. Yeah, what good would it even do? And then, what are you seeing through if you can't? Yeah, is it us or is it us that's seeing things wrong, or is it the narrator who can't see things the way they are? Let's see if anything's different.
Walk up to the wall next to this really... You reach forward and rub your hand again.
Yeah.
It was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Let's take the blade this time.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight,
Yeah.
we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
Yeah, no, it would almost be doing her a favor.
But it's still a stone basement.
Okay.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Keep telling yourself that, Mittens.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
I'm back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Why are you willing to believe her but not us?
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
And we're back to timelines or multiple worlds.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
It's extremely unfair. Sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Huh.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I have to cut you out again? I didn't really care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
No.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
But why didn't she leave if she could just do that?
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
And before we start talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I have no feelings one way or the other. No, I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure.
We rescue the princess and slay the princess. Which way do we want to go here? Not as trusting of this princess. I guess the question... what would be funnier for Mittens? How chaotic. just give me a moment. I'm thinking. It's like. Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking about in the. There's no way he lets you get away with that. Would he even let us? No, I'm just sort of thinking about it in terms of like the grander narrative. I mean, what he wants has plenty of comedy potential anyway. That's why it's like both. If I'm going the comedy route, both ways are pretty compelling. Hero's not so sure here. It gave me a moment. I'm also just thinking about how this all fits in. We'll see what happens. We'll do the rescue again. Let's see if we can like make a successful rescue and where that ends up. I'm sure we'll be doing some slay attempts again.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
There's more of us now.
Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Sorry, I unplugged my headphones by accident. Anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life. That's an option.
You wouldn't.
I think Mittens would.
I would.
He would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
Let's find out.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
You think?
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
There must be something you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Oh.
She can't just want to make us happy.
It's the reverse music again.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
I hope you're cool with this, Mittens. Blame it on you. You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Oh, this is great. It's like the early How to Draw manga books kind of style.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right.
I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
The one hidden hand. Surprised she's not doing the like both hands behind the back. Or like in pockets that she doesn't have. But I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
There we
Is it
go.
just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Oops. That's how you do it. You don't get to get the chance to ask another question. Nor will you ever. Time for you to leave. Memory returns.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a...
Okay. Yeah, I want to see... From Mittens. It's going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
It's the end for you, but not for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
Approach the mirror. Guess we can tab now. Gaze. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. You need to see what's in it. Oh. Achievement, the bloat. You've grown. But the reflections aren't matching. Okay. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. See to the cabin. You groan. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither?
Someone mentioned the music before as well. This track is really good.
But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
You have any... do you have anything more to say? I was gonna say, are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
No, I like them.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Oh, what's wrong with the hands behind the back? It's just sort of a joke. I mean, I did it. It's a thing artists do to avoid drawing hands. It's particularly, I think, like, emblematic of, like, younger artists. I particularly did it, like, 10, 11, 12 kind of thing. You draw a hoodie, put the hands in the pocket, draw them behind the back. Just in general, jean pocket kind of things. Cover up one hand so you don't have to draw the other one. Yeah, and hands are very hard to draw. But it does feel like, I feel like they made a joke about it, particularly in, like, Steven Universe. Even, like, it's like made its way into, like, media, even as a sort of universal thing. Which is why I was making the joke. But there are a lot of very nicely drawn hands here. Oh, there's a lot of them. What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection.
Yeah, and what is it? We had... I mean, it described us as bloated. Is she gonna have to slay us at the end? Is that what it's leading to?
Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Like that ending. Okay, yeah, so I haven't seen this specifically, but when I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
That's a really nice choice from the design perspective. I've messed around in RenPy before, so I do wonder what the code looks like under the hood. Be able to keep track of all of this. But it's both interesting from like a nice design perspective. It's not forcing you to like try every choice. Because I was wondering at the beginning, are we doing the sort of like visual novel thing where you need to make a save at every single choice? I haven't actually. I'm sure there's... might as well. Probably should. I know there was like, yeah, auto saves. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
I mean, I feel like it says good things that you're inherently kind, then, if you have the ability to not be. What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is a reflecting pool of desire unfulfilled. She will make for a pliant heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Reflecting pool of desire unfulfilled. Desire unfulfilled. Is everything... Yeah, I'm thinking if these different princesses, Princess I, all also reflect one of our voices and reflect us in somehow. Desire unfulfilled. So, you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me.
Shaped by memories of you. They're all reflections in some way.
The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
How more vessels I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Burdens you are placing. I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark. You die. A pliable heart, bring the deconstructed damsel to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
I like the I like the little icons. I'm just thinking about that. A little metaphor for the Cold War.
That's the spirit. You make your way up the shore.
Get to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Okay. Take the blade this time.
You take the blade from the table.
The basement. Finally continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
What do we
You
have?
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Guess we'll just try the silent option. Still your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right?
Play the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You
Oh.
feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh.
Weren't expecting that?
This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Not really.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Their eyes going white.
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course not. That was too easy.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
Careful about getting close, though.
I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
Good point.
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
The blade check for pulse. Let's go with what the narrator's saying this time. You're right, she's dead. Let's just get out of here.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Lock it, lock it.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Leave.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
I will be happy. Oh, okay.
I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
How are you feeling about this, narrator?
Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Hope not. Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Oh, okay, maybe I'm not happy. And I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it.
Hit me.
The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Stab me.
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero.
Kill me.
He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Hero's it now.
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we'd die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Anything to get us out of this hell.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate?
You made this world.
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
I like the timing there. Chapter 2, the spectre.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her.
Oh, hey dog. Up. Stray Dog's gonna join us for this one. Yeah, who's our voice guest this time? But I want the Inland Empire equivalent. There you go. But I killed myself. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
The cold.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Yes?
She will lie.
Yep.
She won't be a problem.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge.
Shutters?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
killed her already. What do we need? I want to see. Yeah, I want to see the code says about these.
That's because there's death. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this. I care less about that. I'm not lying.
Approach the mirror. Like you managed to find the opposite of Inland Empire.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement. This really is... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you... But it was there a second, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
What do you have to say about this one, narrator?
Okay. She's definitely dead.
Dead.
It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin.
You're gonna be my favorite.
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a...
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
Yeah. Fair.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
I mean, can we? Wait and see how things play out.
I see you brought that annoying knife again.
Just in case.
So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Lots of them. Nice. See, this is exactly what I was trying to tell you about in the woods. This already happened. We killed her.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened, but you have a job to finish.
Wait, an exorcism?
Finish how? We already did what you told us, and now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though, have you?
I mean, to be honest, no, but...
And then what? And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world, if that's even still an option.
Wasn't great last time.
What do you mean, after? You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? Are you going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? because I didn't much care for that.
Just no content there.
I'm not going to lock you anywhere. What an interesting choice
About to
of
say.
emphasis.
Any of these? Okay. I killed you. What are you doing not being dead?
I don't feel very dead, but I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only mostly killed me.
Mostly.
Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to, not the one with all the answers, or any of the answers.
But we're not a ghost. Unless we are?
Are we?
Maybe that's why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead. Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore. Maybe we should throw it out entirely.
Your body's right there, though. Your dead body.
The princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
Like that smile.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should be. There doesn't need to be a static truth. There doesn't need to be objectivity.
Do you know why you came back?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
And where are you supposed to be?
Home.
Home.
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Just thinking about what it means for, like, the expectation for endings, I guess you'd say. Because we know that there's a dead body. I guess it follows that there'd be a ghost, so I'm just trying to word this out. We're expecting a princess that loved us, for instance. And again, this is like reflections of us, so how... I guess, could we be dead? Yeah, I died too and I'm not floating around like you are. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different?
You don't look dead, killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to live on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
Also, like, expectations for the kind of story you're going into. If you're going into supernatural horror, for instance, like, there would be the expectation of a ghost.
I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
Hitch a ride?
After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us?
That seems to be where it's leading.
She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
I mean, it'd be interesting in that we already have, like, the narrator possessing us. Well, why don't we add another voice?
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him.
Yeah.
I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Sounds great. This will just be temporary, right? You'll leave once we're out of the cabin?
If I'm able to. But for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long time.
Don't much like the sound of that. It's crowded enough in here as is. It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body. That is a very dangerous train of thought.
Hey, dog. Don't you want to see what's gonna happen? And what if I say no?
Then I won't hit your rod.
Need permission to come in like a vampire? Hey, dog. You won't hitch a ride if I say no, or you can't hitch a ride?
I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you. But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
If I let you in, do I still get to be in control?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, thanks.
That doesn't sound very reassuring. I can't believe you're even entertaining her right now. I mean, just look at her. Do you think she has good intentions for her murderer's body? Of course she doesn't.
Before I agree to anything, we need to talk about what happens when you leave this place. I was told you'd end the world.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She is right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
What are you going to do if I help you get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt.
Who else is there?
Maybe I'll haunt you.
Okay.
It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
Yeah.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
She's already dead. I would trust her because she hasn't anything to gain anymore. She can still gain her freedom.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
You can get down, I'm afraid, dog.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
Well, were you going to end the world?
I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave.
They all do. They want to leave the cabin, the basement, the dungeon. You didn't answer my question. You want to end the world.
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
You still didn't answer my question. Even if you don't want to end it, does letting you out of here mean the world is going to end?
It does. We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home.
Oops, sorry.
That doesn't mean for anything to end. I ended, but I also didn't. And you ended too. But here you are. And you don't even look any different. I'm not so sure endings are real.
Did I know I don't look different if we haven't seen the mirror? Turn. Hold on, I just need to let my fray dog out. Just one sec, sorry. Okay, sorry. Just like detour. I'm sorry I killed you last time. I shouldn't have done that.
Too little, too late. But you can still make things right.
She's not in a position to bargain with us. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Do I?
We don't have to do anything, but maybe we should. We did kill her. Wouldn't it be the moral thing to help her now that we have another chance?
You say I don't have to do anything I don't want to, but when I exercise my free will, the narrator is not very happy about it.
When a hero slays a monster, does he apologize to it?
I guess not exercising my if I exercise my free will in a way that the narrator does not like.
No. So don't try to make things right. She was going to end the world. You didn't do anything wrong, aside from apparently killing yourself, and that doesn't have much to do with her.
You're dead. Or at least mostly dead. What can you even do to hurt me?
A boring question with an easy answer. Nothing. She's a ghost. Ghosts can't hurt us.
It hurt me emotionally.
That's for you to know, and for you to wonder about. Maybe I can't do anything to you.
See?
Or maybe I can rip your heart out. Who's to say, really?
I don't like the uncertainty here. I don't know what to do or who to trust.
After I killed you, this cabin, I want to say it teleported. It wasn't in the woods anymore. time stopped meaning anything, and I had to kill myself to escape.
You poor thing. That must have been so frightening for you.
You know, after everything we've been through, it's nice to see someone finally sympathising with us. This whole thing's been an ordeal, hasn't it?
I think it's possible to read that as sarcastic. You can hear her rolling her eyes. She's not even looking at us.
She doesn't mean it.
It serves you right.
I was pretty scared too, when you stood there not saying a word with a knife clenched in your fist. But now you know how bad it hurts to get stabbed in the chest.
It sounds like you got exactly what you were owed.
Yeah, if you can go through walls, can't you just leave on your own?
I wish that's how it worked, but this place won't let me go.
Still chained? Also just seeing, we still have, won't you possess me if you're really dead? Give it. Might as well find out. Stop playing the victim. You threatened me last time, not really.
Well, yeah, you brought a knife with you. Was I supposed to just welcome you with open arms when you obviously had stabbing on the mind?
That knife could have been for anything.
It could have, but it wasn't. You can't blame me for threatening a would-be knife-wielding murderer, especially when that would-be knife-wielding murderer became an actual knife-wielding murderer.
You want me to die? Do you want me to kill myself to satisfy some sort of sick revenge fantasy? Because I already did that, and it wouldn't be hard to do it again.
Are we putting this to a vote? Because personally, I'd prefer if we didn't die again. If that's what it comes down to, that's what it comes down to. But I don't see the point of offing ourselves just yet.
Oh, that's sweet of you to offer. But killing yourself wouldn't help either of us.
It would seem that everyone here is in agreement except for you. I shouldn't have to tell you that you shouldn't kill yourself. So please, try to keep your suicidal tendencies in check.
Like I said, I just want to go home.
I wanna... If I knew I'd wind up having to talk to you again, I wouldn't have slain you.
And if I knew you were going to murder me without even knowing who I was, I wouldn't have given you the chance.
We all make mistakes.
Okay, team. I like that we're a team. I'm out of ideas. Thoughts?
We could always try violence. It's worked for us so far. She's a ghost.
A ghost?
Who says ghosts are immune to violence?
Can we try, like, emotional killing?
Common sense? There's nothing common or sensible about common sense. Action and observation are the only things that matter.
I think, like the comment earlier was I somehow picked the, like, most opposite to Inland Empire.
Fine, then let me observe that the acts of killing her and killing ourselves haven't got us much of anywhere. We're still back in this cabin, we're still dealing with her, only now she has a good reason to hate us. I suppose you have a point. Do you have any ideas then? I don't know. Maybe we do what she wants. Maybe we let her possess us and walk out of here.
Good idea, hero.
We could. It would be something different. I like different.
Me too.
Absolutely not. If you walk her out of here, she's going to end the world. And is that really so bad? Yes, it is by its very definition bad. But those are the only options, aren't they? Violence or doing what she wants. Or just leaving her down here. Though ignoring a problem is rarely a solution, is it?
Okay, I've given it enough thought. Let's get you out of here. Let the princess possess you.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
I just want to see her and the narrator get along.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
We're pals.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body.
Don't love the sound effects.
You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Oh,
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
oh,
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
glass on the floor?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm... a voice? I'm me, is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
Shards.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
Yeah?
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
I can't think straight. There's too much noise.
It's okay. We're almost out of here. Just take it one step at a time, and everything will be fine.
Everything won't be fine if you listen to her. One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
I mean, given how chaotic are you feeling today? Yeah, how would you even slay the princess from this position?
Wouldn't that be nice? There's only one way to find out.
Did the princess leave the basement? I like her. I'm okay to see where listening to her goes.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
It's interesting. Like, he gets frustrated, like, he sighs, he gets frustrated, but we haven't seen narrator get, like, that angry.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do.
Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world?
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Indeed.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Trudge forward.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
Thanks. You said we're pals.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Open the door.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Hear him fading out there.
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose.
But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world?
We're still here.
Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
The intruders?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Hitchhiker. Pick up a passenger and take her to her destination. You feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
Anna, you actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Chloe.
Right, this might not last.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I meant to be.
Yeah. Don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Ignore him.
What do we have? The decay. You've withered. Say to the cabin. I like the tiny ones. It's cute too. You're at the cabin. Rocher. What do you have for me today?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
It can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. This is definitely the kind of writing where it'll be good to come back to after I understand more. It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
No. No, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is vaporous. She is a dream of a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for a yearning heart. Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew.
Are these the same as well? I'm still planning to kill you.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
Have you figured out what you'll want when you've finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
And do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay. Then we also have these options. Also, I'm gonna make a save here because, or maybe I'll make a save at the beginning of like the next. So I'm gonna chat for a moment because I just need to, I think this will be the last, I don't know, chapter we'll do right now. But I like this music, so we'll leave it here. There's so many little bits and pieces, and of course I'm not quite seeing them all fit together. It feels like this could end up in a lot of ambiguity, or also not. Like, I can tell with this type of writing, it's meant for when you understand how it all comes together a bit more. I'm just not quite, like, there's a lot of bits in the puzzle pieces, and I'm just not quite like putting them all together. I don't think it's gonna end up being interpretable in different ways. There's a lot of commentary about not just like the self, but also storytelling itself. We have these preconceived notions about our roles, about how stories should go. I do like this way that you're sort of setting up. I see how like the chapters are being set up now. You make your choices in the beginning, and then it reflects how the and then you end up in like the second section, which is like the natural progression of the first. That's a really interesting way, and I don't even really have a prediction about how those work. It's very cool to see how the princess becomes. And the question I've had is, why do you move on to a different world after you've killed the princess and accomplished your task? That is a really good point, and I don't know how the narrator exactly fits in. I'm probably actually gonna, after I finish, go and rewatch some of this, because sometimes I feel like I don't absorb things quite as well as if I was on my own, because of course I'm multitasking. I'm paying attention to chat as well, and making sure the stream's working. Making sure my stray dog's not destroying whatever's behind me. We have these multitudes where playing the game is very fun to do. I expect it to. Do you want to know how long you've got before the end of the game? No. I was just gonna say, I'm doing another session later in the week, and if we don't finish, in that session, we'll definitely do more. But we'll just keep going. We'll keep going. But yeah, no spoilers for that. Story Your Body is also an interesting. And then I'm not sure, because I got what happens if you finish early. Then we'll chat. And hey, how many, let me see, one sec. Let me see how many achievements. I have 10 achievements of 131. We've got some work to do. Oh, I got trading cards. There's a lot. Oh yeah, just looking at what we had. The body, it's you. I was wondering about the bloat and the decay, although maybe this is... I was wondering if the bloat... I mean, now I'm looking at the percentages. That might be... The bloat is like 84.3, the decay is 77.8. I was wondering if that was a sort of... Are you getting bloated because you've collected this many endings? Or do they actually reflect... Do they actually reflect what we've had? Like, because the decay does seem to follow after we've talked to the ghost. Each reflections, and we're seeing the reflections. But yeah, if they're all... Yeah. Skimming. 47 of them are hidden. pictures, a lot of them don't. 47 achievement. Finish the gallery. We saved there. Let me see. We saved. Let's go to the main menu. Let's see if it changed. No, okay. I just wondered if there was changing depending on everything. Preferences, controls, ability. But yeah, I'm sure we can get like the different individual. The gallery opens when you beat the game the first time. Okay, yeah, I was wondering if there's gonna be one up that pops up here. Yeah, as Butter said, it's not necessarily achievements don't exactly reflect how common they are. I think in the thaumaturge there was some ones that were, I was surprised how low they are, but then I realized only like 10% of the people had like gotten that far in the game, it seemed like. I heard, yeah. Here we, are we not getting the jump scare title now? I was waiting for it with that text. Yeah, so there's all the... I think by design you're gonna miss some stuff anyway. Absolutely, there's already like multiple dialogue options that I wanted to see. It was interesting getting the tower as sort of the first route, because then I was like, oh, tarot. But not, I'm wondering what the titles do refer to exactly. I mean, obviously there's like the symbolism with the stranger, but are the others that kind of thing? There's the, now that I look closely at the cursor as well, it does look a bit sort of disembodied. Versus our like sort of scroll wheel bar or scroll bar is like the chopped off finger as well. You can see like the bone peeking out. Pristine cut, interesting. Anyway, very, very compelled. I wish in some respects, I wish I had more to add, but because of like, all the gears are spinning, but just not quite. In some cases, there's just not quite enough for me to like grab onto in some respects to like really speculate, because that's the way it's presented. Hard to grasp where this is going, but I'm invested. Me too. It's slippery. I mean, it's vague enough to be be able to read lots of different things from it. It's still a bit jumbled now for sure. That's good. I feel like the gears are telling me there's not enough traction. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Just trying to like want a little bit more to grasp onto, and part of that is this sort of streaming problem where I think I'm not always, I need a bit of time to process it anyway. I want to, when I'm done, go through my VOD mostly. So I want to double check the wording on certain things. And I didn't want to interrupt my reading too much with chat, which is why I wasn't responding as much. I wanted to sort of keep the narrative going, so I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to everyone. I did see mostly, and I didn't want to like get distracted from my own thoughts with chat's thoughts as often. But I assume as we keep going, there'll be more for me to pick apart and be able to piece things together, for instance. But regardless, I hope everyone's been having a good week and continues. Oh, that's no problem. It's a very interesting game. I'm glad. I want when I play something like this, I know a lot of people really love and are hyped about it. I want to be able to do it justice. If that makes sense. And like give the people that are watching again a good experience as well from somebody who's starting again. Funstein, thank you. I care about games, I care about writing, I just want to do it well. Looking forward to Dulcinea Rodeo tomorrow. Me too, me too. It's the same. Outer Wilds is one I've been wanting to play for a long time, and I've been sort of intimidated by it because of how beloved it is. And it's like I need to. Outer Wilds is so good. I'm quite considering it being something that's up next because I put it off for. It's one I've wanted to play for so long. I've been putting it off. But certainly, I've wanted to I want to do it justice. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evie. I hope you have a good week as well. But yes, everybody, I really hope you're doing well and you continue to have a good week. And I will see you again. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye.